don't talk about it.
They're slow.
I live in the 2 East 8th building, or the 777 South State, which basically means that like I waited in line for 25 minutes to get on the elevator today after class.
I know like people who live in 2 East 8th, like elevators for them is their worst nightmare.
Isn't 2 East 8th kind of sketch?
I guess. I don't know. The people who I know from 2 East 8th aren't sketch. They're very lovely people.
Is the pool still open?
I heard that they are like disease infested.
It's honestly like the worst experience ever riding those elevators because there's a lot of like metal creaking and you just kind of like, I write my will a lot before I get on the elevator just to be safe. It's kind of how it goes there.
Yeah,
I love a pool. I get my
I would have been able to
90-year-old woman bathing suit on. I love a swim. I love a swim.
Yeah.
There's one thing I like to do in the elevators is like I know some elevator facts and I like to just spout them off. Like when we get past the 9th floor, I like to tell everyone that you can only survive a 9th floor drop in an elevator, just to make everyone on their toes a little bit more.
I don't talk on elevators. I scowl ominously,
Yeah.
and when someone tries to talk at me, it really bums me out.
Yeah.
I never make conversation. Like, I would prefer if someone was like, hey, how's your day? I'm like, oh, I'm good, how are you? But instead, they're just like holding their Harold's chicken, and I'm like, all right, see you later.
One time, this is not the residence hall, we were in the 1104 building and we were going down and we stopped at 2. And we have a packed elevator and the girl's like, oh, let's just take the stairs. And it closed. I'm like, who the fuck gets on at 2?
If you have a class on the 2nd floor, just take the stairs.
Take the damn stairs.
It's not that hard.
Who raised you?
If you're on the 5th floor, just walk down. Don't even try.
I always feel bad for the people, like I live on 8, so that's an appropriate level to take the elevator. But I always feel bad for people who live on like 3 and 4 because like every time they take the elevator, they're judged. You know, if I lived on the 4th floor, I wouldn't want to walk 4 floors, but yet we all judge them.
People that like talk on speakerphone with like it just like right here. Like I don't want to listen to your fucking conversation.
Remember when we got on the elevator and there was that girl that was singing in the lobby and
Oh,
the
yeah,
doors closed and you were like, good. I've had a lot of experiences with security. I'm banned from the UC.
We have a pretty good security team. They're like very funny and like there's a girl whose name is like D. And it's like, oh, everyone goes like D's and everyone talks to her. And I came in once and she's like, are these your parents? And I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I don't check in parents.
You're only allowed to stay there like 3 nights every 2 weeks. I stayed there for every day for a month. 3 months, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 months. And then eventually some guy just like, he really didn't like me, so he was like, I think there's something up. So technically I'm banned for life for only staying like 5 days for 2 weeks.
I have lost like all faith in the UC security because there's always like 2 people sitting there right when you walk in and it seems like a big ordeal, you gotta scan in. But there's been times when I've been with friends, they've just like left their card upstairs and if you kind of like go in a pack, they don't notice.
A lot of the security guards are not super invested in their job, which is fair because their job is kind of just to sit around there and take and hand out IDs.
If you don't interrupt their smoke break, they're usually pretty chill.
Security in the dorms is awesome. Like you can't go through the front door without scanning your card. Like you can't get into the dorms without checking in first, which I think is really great and it keeps creepos out, which I like. In the buildings, it's awful. I feel like anyone could walk in and come into my classroom.
Sometimes if you have groceries, it's like, it gives you 5 seconds. Like you have to scan and go. And I had groceries and I was like, ugh. And I scan it and I like get everything up and then the door's locked and I was like, ugh.
I really don't have any problems with security. They are very strict about guest policies. I guess it's better than just like, all right, go on in.
I'll fuck with ghosts.
Wait, there's ghosts in the dorms?
Apparently the Dwight's haunted.
Sometimes I do hear like screams and voices though coming from the vents and I'm not sure if that could be like, you know, paranormal activity. I just kind of assumed it was normal.
Have you ever seen a ghost in the dorm?
I don't want to talk about it.
Ghosts.
You know this.
I do know you don't fuck with ghosts. When I lived in the dorms, I used to just throw like everything that accumulated over like a month out at the same time, and it didn't always fit in the garbage chute. And they always took it away, so I guess that's cool.
Yeah. I think you should pick up your own shit, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really nice because like my awesome roommate, Tommy Bezra, shout out. He cleans up his stuff very nicely, and I'm allowed to like put laundry right in front of my bed, and then I'll do it eventually.
The laundry in Plymouth, it's mostly just expensive, so I've been washing my clothes when I literally run out of other clothes to wear. I've kind of just done all of my shirts in one load. They're all orange.
I usually try to do my laundry between like midnight and 3 a.m. because there's nobody in there, and I can be like a huge asshole and use like 4 machines at once because they give us the smallest washing machines in the world that you can put like a pair of underwear and like a sock in, and it's full.
Like, truth's coming out. Last week, it got so bad, I needed to do laundry so bad. I was so out of underwear, I wore a swimsuit bottom to work. And that's when I really knew that like my life was a mess. But you know what? It was comfortable, supportive. I think we need to support them as an underwear a little bit more.
People don't know how to do laundry. Like when after you wash your clothes, you're supposed to leave the door open so it doesn't mold, and people just shut the wet door, and so there's some mold in the washing machines and some gum.
My idea of dorm decorating was seeing how many printed out selfies I could hang on my wall before my roommates got uncomfortable. I think they're all too scared to say anything. The fact that I have like 25 printed out selfies like tacked to my wall.
We like to confuse parents when they come over. So there's like a Jim Carrey from The Mask cardboard cutout, an inflatable ghost, Devil's Whip, sex doll wearing a Margarita Monday t-shirt. So when they came in, they were like, is
that a giant poster of George Costanza?
Yeah, like laying on a couch or like.
There's no overhead lighting in the Dwight, and all the switches do is like control the power in the room.
Oh.
One switch does, the other one doesn't do dick.
And then their mom came over and it was like, oh, this is nice. Are your roommates on weed?
Dealing with disorganized roommates is probably the primary reason that I live alone now.
I fuck with my roommate, love her. No problems there.
My roommate seems to think you can only change the temperature in like increments of 10 or 15 degrees.
If you're not showering like
Oh yeah.
every 2 days, or every 2 days is like the most.
One night I was just so tired, I was exhausted. It was like 2 a.m. My body was not having it, and I needed to shower, but it was to the point where like I could barely stand. Something was happening, I don't know.
Also, I don't like smelly people. Like if you're a smelly person, I don't like you.
I wanted to shower sitting down, but not on our gross ass shower floor. So I got my desk chair and I put it in the shower, and then I took plastic rain ponchos and I covered the chair like 3 times over with plastic rain ponchos so it would be waterproof. And then I just sat in my chair, had my shower stuff around me, and then just showered sitting down. And it really worked. No one was harmed, and I was happy, so I'm proud of that. That's a good tip. People should do that.
Take a shower. Like, is it that hard to step in the shower, put on some shampoo, some conditioner?
If you go to Columbia, your parents will buy you Dove. They fucking will.